This is In the Dark host Madeline Barron. This is our data intern, Will Kraft. This is a forensic sketch artist named Renee Tremaine. And this is a guy named Tim Van Drysch. He played our criminal. I'm Samara Freemark. I'm the senior producer of In the Dark, and I wanted to tell you about an experiment we did about police sketches. So how this worked was Tim came into our offices. Madeline and Will had never met him before. He did a little impromptu card trick routine with both of them, one at a time. The whole thing lasted maybe 4 minutes. And the next day, I brought in Renee Tremaine to sit down with Madeline and Will and make some sketches. Will and Madeline both described what they remembered about what Tim looked like. Madeline said he was shorter than 5'7". Will put him at around 6'2". Madeline said he was 50-something. Will described him as old and like a grandpa. Madeline said he was tan. Will said he was pale. Madeline said she couldn't remember any marks on Tim's face. Will said Tim had a bump on his nose and a red blotch on his face. In real life, Tim has no bump and no blotch. Once Madeline and Will finished with their initial descriptions, Renee pulled out this book of facial features. The whole thing was kind of like a game of Mr. Potato Head. Madeline and Will had to choose noses, eyes, hair, face shapes. And then Renee took all this information they had given her and started drawing. We did this experiment because we wanted to see how hard this actually was, to see a person for a few minutes and try to describe his face later. And we wanted to see how similar Madeline and Will's sketches were to each other, and also how similar they would be to what Tim actually looks like. And we had a lot of advantages. Madeline and Will knew they were going to be sketching the person, and probably most importantly, they weren't actually the victims of a real crime. So what did we find out? Well, here are the two sketches. Will's sketch is on the left, Madeline's is on the right. Do they look like Tim? No. If you put this sketch on a flyer, would it help lead to Tim? That's the question.